All right, Double Take Sports Talk here. Darren Watts on the opposite side. Daryl.
That's right.
All
I'm here.
right, check us out on our podcast starting every new week with the NFL on Thursday. We will have what to look for in the NFL. We will also have our predictions for each game. We will also wrap up the week on Tuesday with stats and final scores for each game. Catch an episode of Double Take Sports Talk. You may just find it useful or entertaining, maybe both. Find us on these various social media websites.
Yeah, Double Take Sports Talk is, of course, on social media. We are on Twitter at DTST2414. We're on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. And we're also on YouTube. Hit that like button. Tell them there.
Just hit it. Hit
Yes.
that like button.
Hit it.
Just
Hit it
hit it.
good, too. Just hit it.
You don't even have to listen to it. Just hit
That's right. That's right.
it.
Yeah. And we also got Blog Talk feature critical thinking and analysis. You can check that out at doubleTakeSportsTalk.blogspot.com.
There it is. Darren here. Left side of me, Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Catch our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday with the NFL Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.
Coming up on Double Take Sports Talk 5 Good Minutes with the Watch Brothers, we will have your recap of this past week in the NFL with final scores and stats from each game. We will also have your 7 stats of the game and what stood out to us, our final thoughts as we end another week in the NFL. That's next on Double Take Sports Talk. This is it. Double Take Sports Talk 5 Good Minutes with the Watch Brothers. Welcome to the show. Darren Watts here on the other side of me via Skype. Say hello to Daryl Watts today.
Yep, I'm here. Welcome to the show. This is it. This is it.
This is it. We are here again. We have the end of the week stats and final scores, wrapping up the end of the week. We'll have your 7 stats of the game and our final thoughts of this week. What stood out to us? Ready to do it?
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to take a look at the final scores and stats from week 12. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Had pretty good games going on in the NFL. So hopefully that everybody enjoyed their holiday so far. Let's get right down to this. We're going to start with the Vikings and the Lions. The Lions pulled out that win, 16-13 in overtime. Sam Bradford was 31 for 37, 224 yards, and an interception. Matt Stafford was 23 for 40, 232 yards, and a touchdown. Um, Matt Asatia, I think it is. I know I mispronounced that. My apologies. Had the only rushing touchdown for the Vikings. Okay. Um, Redskins and Cowboys. Cowboys pulled out that win, 31-26. Kirk Cousins was pretty good on the air, 41 for 53, 449 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dakota Prescott, 17 for 24, 195 yards and a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott and of course Prescott himself each had rushing TDs. On to Indianapolis, where the Colts took on the Steelers, and Colts lost that game to the Steelers 28-7. Ben Roethlisberger was 14 for 20, 221 yards and 3 touchdowns. Scott Tosian, 22 for 36, 205 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And of course, just a note here: Pat McAfee was 1 for 1 with 35 yards on a fake punt on 4th down, which I call was great piece of excellent work there as an emergency quarterback. Ravens and Bengals. Ravens pulled out that win, 19-14. Andy Dalton was 26 for 48, 283 yards, and a touchdown. Joe Flacco was 25 for 36, 234 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. St. Louis. Wow, wow, wow. New Orleans and Los Angeles. Saints dominated this win, 49-21. Jared Goff was 20 for 32, 214 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Not bad for him just to be starting a few games. Drew Brees, 28 for 36, 310 yards and 4 touchdowns. Phenomenal game for Drew Brees. And just a note, Willie Snead was 1 for 1 for 50 yards and a touchdown. And also Mark Ingram had 146 yards on the ground, 14 carries, and a touchdown. All right, down to Atlanta and the Cardinals. The Falcons pulled out that win, 38-19. Carson Palmer was 25 for 45, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Matty Ice Ryan was 26 for 34, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And Devontae Freeman had 2 rushing touchdowns that game. Very good for the Falcons. Miami and San Francisco. The Dolphins pulled out that 7-point win, 31-24. Colin Kaepernick had a good game, 29 for 46, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And Ryan Tannehill, 20 for 30, 285 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Better game for him. And Jay Ajayi had the rushing touchdown for the Dolphins also. Bills Jaguars. Bills pulled out that win, 28-21. Blake Bortles was 13 for 26. 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyrod Taylor, 12 for 18, 166 yards, and a touchdown. And LaShawn McCoy, 103 yards rushing on 19 carries and 2 touchdowns. All right, continuing week 12, stats and scores. Let's go down to Chicago where the Bears work with the Tennessee Titans. Titans pulled away with that win, 27-21. Marcus Mariota, 15 for 23, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Matt Barkley, 28 for 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Giants going against the winless Browns in Cleveland and still are winless as the Giants roll past the Browns 27-13. Eli Manning, 15 for 27, 194 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh McCown, 25 for 43, 322 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Chargers, Texans in Houston. San Diego wins this game 21-13. Phillip Rivers, 22 for 30, 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Brock Osweiler, 22 for 37, 246 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Seahawks, Bucks in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay showing they could compete in the NFL. Gets past the Seattle Seahawks 14-5. Russell Wilson, 17 for 33, 151 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jameis Winston, 21 for 28, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patriots, Jets in New Jersey. New England comes from behind to win that game 22-17. Tom Brady, 30 for 50, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 22 for 32, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Panthers, Raiders in Oakland. The Raiders improved to 9-2 on the year with the win over the Panthers, 35-32. Derek Carr, 26 for 38, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cam Newton, 14 for 29, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the big Sunday night game, Chiefs, Broncos in Denver, the Mile High City. Well, not so high in Denver, gets upset by the Kansas City Chiefs, 30-27. Alex Smith, 26 for 44, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Trevor Siemian, 20 for 34, 368 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And lastly but not least, that Monday night game, Packers, Eagles in Philadelphia. Eagles did not come to play as the Packers took full advantage of that to beat the Eagles 27-13. Aaron Rodgers, 30 for 39, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Carson Wentz, 24 for 36, 254 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Them are your Week 12 stats and scores of the NFL.
All right, we're going to take a look at some stats from the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern games from Sunday, November 27th, 2016. This was the 12th week of the season. We're going to start this one off with the New England Patriots. New England quarterback Tom Brady passed for 286 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner with 156 remaining in the fourth quarter.
in the Patriots' 22-17 win at the New York Jets. Including the postseason, Brady has 200 career victories, tied with Peyton Manning for the most in NFL history. Brady has 60,229 career passing yards and became the fifth player in NFL history to reach 60,000 passing yards, joining Peyton Manning with 71,940, Brett Favre with 71,838, Drew Brees 64,490, and Dan Marino 61,361. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints, quarterback Drew Brees passed for 310 yards with 4 touchdowns with a 139.6 passer rating and rushed for a touchdown in the Saints' 49-21 blowout win over the Los Angeles Rams. Brees, who extended his NFL record streak to 60 consecutive home games with a touchdown pass, has 3 career games with at least 4 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown, the most in NFL history. Brees, 30, is also the second quarterback in NFL history to reach 30 career games with at least 4 touchdown passes, which succeeds by Peyton Manning with 35. This season, Drew Brees has 30 touchdown passes and extend his NFL record streak to 9 consecutive seasons with at least 30 touchdown passes. Brees has 9 career seasons with at least 30 touchdown passes, tied for the most in NFL history with Pro Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. Moving on to Tennessee Titans, quarterback Marcus Mariota threw 2 touchdown passes and had a 126.4 passer rating in the Titans' 27-21 win at Chicago. Mariota, who is in his second season, has thrown multiple touchdown passes in 8 consecutive games. That is the second longest single season streak in NFL history by a quarterback in his first 2 seasons, trailing only Pro Football Hall of Famer Dan Marino's streak of 10 games in 1984, his second season. On to the Atlanta Falcons. Quarterback Matt Ryan passed for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns for a 106.1 passer rating in the Falcons' 38-19 win over Arizona. Ryan is the first player in NFL history to pass for at least 200 yards in 50 consecutive games. And staying with the on to Arizona. Arizona Cardinals running back David Johnson had 161 scrimmage yards, 103 receiving yards, and 58 rushing yards, and a touchdown catch for the Cardinals. Johnson, who has gained at least 100 scrimmage yards in all of 11 Arizona games this season, has joined Edgerrin James 2000 and 2005 as the only players in NFL history with 100-plus scrimmage yards in each of his team's first 11 games of a season. Moving on to San Diego Chargers. Quarterback Philip Rivers passed for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns for 116.3 passer rating in the Chargers' 21-13 win at Houston. Rivers, who has 3,128 passing yards this season, recorded his 11th consecutive season with 3,000 passing yards, tied for the 4th longest streak in NFL history. Pro Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre, 18, Peyton Manning, 13, and Drew Brees, also with 13, are the only quarterback with longer streaks. Brees extended his streak to 13 consecutive seasons last week. On to the New York Giants. Defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul had a career-high 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and a 43-yard fumble return touchdown in the Giants' 27-13 win at Cleveland. Pierre-Paul, who recorded his 50th career sack, is the first player with at least 3 sacks and a fumble return touchdown of at least 40 yards in the same game since 1982, the first year individual sacks that became an official stat. Lastly but not least, moving on to Baltimore Ravens. Kicker Justin Tucker converted all 4 of his field goal attempts in the Ravens' 19-14 win over Cincinnati. Tucker, who connected on field goals of 57, 54, and 52 yards in the first half, is the first player in NFL history with 3 field goals of at least 50 yards in the first half of a game. His three 50-plus yard field goals are tied for the most ever in a game, and Tucker is the ninth player in league annals to accomplish that feat. Dating back to last season, Tucker has successfully converted 34 consecutive field goal attempts, the sixth longest streak in NFL history. He is the only kicker in the NFL to make all of his field goals attempts, which he is 27 for 27 this season, and that is in the minimum of 10 attempts. That was your stats from Sunday's games from 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern from Sunday, November 27th, the 12th week of 2016 season. This is via NFL Communications. All right. Check us out on the social media side. Get more involved in our podcast. We're on Twitter at DTST2414. Like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page, The Watch Brothers. We're on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit it. I don't care what you do. You ain't got to listen to it. Just hit it. Also, we got the blog, Feature Critical Thinking and Analysis. You can check that out at doubletakesportstalk.blogspot.com.
All right. We know the 7 stats of the game. We know our final scores and stats for each game. And now for our final thoughts. Wrapping up the show. What stood out to us in week 12? That was Thanksgiving week, of course. We're wrapping this up. What stood out to you in week 12?
I'm pretty impressed. Not with the team itself, but the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker. He had converted on 50-plus yard field goals in the first half of that game for 57, 54, and 52 yards. To me, I think that's pretty impressive piece of work, especially you know, for somebody not to convert those type of field goals to where other teams may have to punt in that situation, you know, because the trust level may not be all the way up there yet. But for him to convert 57, 54, and 52 yards in the first half, yeah, that's phenomenal. And I had mentioned that earlier when we did the
7 stats of the game.
stats. Yeah. So yeah, I am very impressed with that. Very impressed.
Very good. Very good. That's very interesting considering, not too many field goal kickers can convert on that many yardage out from a field goal range like that. Not too many field goal kickers. I don't even think Vinatieri can do that. I think Vinatieri can convert on those types, but not in those 50-yard ranges. But then again, I don't think he's been put to that type of test. But
Well, he is only like I think he's the ninth player to do it. So yeah, Vinatieri could be one. Gary Anderson could be another one.
yeah,
So yeah, the list could go on and on, especially for non-players that's done it. So
Morton
yeah.
Anderson, all them,
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian, Janikowski.
Yeah, Kowski. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, what stood out to me, the Miami Dolphins. They're now 7-4. They are in this race.
Yeah, they're in the
They are
race,
in
man.
this race.
Yeah, they're in this race. Yeah.
Told the buddy Will Walker, they are a wild card team. I told him that before the NFL season started. I didn't pick. Did I pick them to win it?
Yes, you did. You picked him. You
Yes, I
picked
did.
him.
I
You picked him.
picked. No, I did not. I picked the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East. I just told Will Walker that Miami is a playoff wild card.
Hold it, Will Rogers. Hold on. Hold on. You picked the Bills?
Yes, I picked the Bills. I picked the Bills because
That can't be. Who did I pick?
you picked the Jets.
Oh.
You picked the Jets. Again, if you don't believe us, doubleTakeSportsTalk.blogspot.com. It's on
That's
there.
right. It's on there.
It's you got Jets and I got the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. I just said that Miami was not going to win the division, but they are good enough to be a wild card team.
Wild card team.
That
Yeah.
I did tell Will Walker that he's a big Miami fan from Miami. Well, not from he's from Florida, but I I had potential in Miami, and
Yeah.
this proves
Oh, yeah.
it right here.
I proved
This
it.
this proves it. They're 7-4. They was under 500. Started under 500. They are now above 500. I'm amazed at Miami and what they've been able to compile together. Cause they could have easily have lost to San Francisco. They could have easily have lost. But with Colin Kaepernick too busy boycotting, they just slipped and took advantage of it. They just took
I mean,
advantage of it.
well, you also got to look at it like this. I'm not saying that, he is the reason, but he did have a pretty good game. He did throw for 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick.
Hey, he can have 3 touchdowns. He can have 5 touchdowns and no picks. That team ain't winning. He's still
And he
boycotting.
ain't. Look, hey, you know that I have not picked 49ers to win any games
I haven't
thus
either.
far, except one with Blake Gabbert when they played that Sunday night game against Arizona. Other than that, I ain't picked them to win any. So yeah, I know.
Well, they need to go
I,
back to him.
Blake Gabbert.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Blaine Gabbert is the reason why
Why
they
not?
in hole in the first place.
He wasn't a bit. Colin Kaepernick ain't doing any better.
And
He
he
ain't
ain't.
won. He ain't
They in
won
a
a
lose lose.
game.
They in a lose lose situation.
Well, I mean, at least Blaine Gabbert put them on the board with one win.
At least, yeah.
Colin Kaepernick ain't been able to put him on a win column since he came back. And while he's still boycotting, but that's a whole nother issue there.
I know. I know. It's yeah. Big issues. Big issues in San Francisco. But hey.
Big issues, and I'm also impressed with the Giants too. 8-3. They didn't start out too good either.
Mm-mm. Nope.
They're in the race
Yep.
for they believe it or not, they are in the race for the NFC East.
And I think I picked the G men.
You picked New York, I picked
Mm-hmm.
Washington.
They're
All the
not doing too
teams,
bad either.
all the NFC East teams are above 500,
500. That's right.
except now for Philadelphia. They are now officially under 500.
Yeah.
So with the loss to Green Bay, that put them under. They're the only team that are under 500. But everybody was at and above 500. So I mean, even Philadelphia is somewhat still in the race. But I didn't pick them. I picked Washington, and Washington I think it's under 500 now. Was it the NFC East? What is what is who am I talking about here? Daryl, help me out here. Who am I
I
talking
don't know.
about?
Was you talking about the Giants or the Redskins or
No,
the
the
Eagles?
Redskins. Redskins. Thank you. The Redskins. What is their? Oh, they're 6-4. Yeah, they are still in the race. I don't. They're sort of.
I mean, they're not doing too bad. And Kirk Cousins had a good
Cowboys.
game.
Yeah, Cowboys have to start losing in order for Washington to be back into that race. But right now,
I
the
don't know.
closest is the Giants. They're the closest. I mean, and you even looking at the AFC South, Tennessee.
Mhm.
They in second place. Houston got to lose again. Tennessee might just take that over.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up on this week. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very interesting on how this works. It's going to be very interesting. All right, Derek. So let's update us on the since this week is done. Update us on the standings. How are we doing so
Oh,
far?
to be honest, I didn't get to do the Monday night game, but if I am right, the record should stand out to be your record should be 15-1 on
Mhm.
the week, and mine is 12-4 on the week. Your overall record should be
101.
nope. You're not at 101. I'm talking about yours. Uh, 80 or
Uh,
90. I think it's 90. I think you're at 90 and 70 something. I have to look. I didn't get to look. I didn't get to do it.
Darren, you had told me on Marco Polo yesterday I was 99 and 70 something,
Okay, so you should be at 100 then. Yep, that's right. 174.
or 101.
No, you if you was at 99, was that
That's
before
two
or after?
games. That's
Oh,
two games
that
out
was.
before Sunday night.
I'll do the records to be sure I didn't get to do it. Um, It should be 100, 101, and 74, and I am 114 and 61, I believe it is. It's getting close, and it's getting close into the end of the NFL season too, not to include the playoffs. So it's getting kind of tight. You're about
Yeah.
14 games behind me, or 13. Not even that. A whole week of wins could put you right back into the race. So that's where we stand at so far. I, like I said, I didn't even get a chance to do it. I was trying to get all the other stuff done.
Now, see.
All right. So, anything else you'd like to add?
Actually, no. We can go ahead and get up on out of here. We can call this a wrap.
All right. Double Take Sports Talk here. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening wherever you are. Darren Watts here. Other side of me via Skype. Daryl, catch up with us on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. Until then,
Ciao.
ciao.